The Chiefs lose if blank. What happens? The Chiefs lose if blank. What do you got?
Saquon runs for 150 plus.
150.
Yeah, I really think he needs one of those kind of trademark Saquon Barkley runs that we've seen over the course of the playoffs. Burst off one of those 50 to 60 yarders because he's going to get his touches, obviously. He's going to be getting 70 to 80 yards probably on just his standard carries. Does he have that game-breaking run in him? I think that's the key to victory for the Eagles.
Can Saquon get to 150, Jansen, against this defense?
Definitely can. He can't get it until he can't.
I
until
believe,
he's been stopped.
I believe
he can.
Spags has 24 games in playoffs as a defensive coordinator.
It's tough. It's tough against Kansas City.
I don't think he's ever given up a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the only was it Lamar Jackson in the regular season or the playoffs?
Quarterback week
it was quarterback, but not a running back. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's gotten over 100 yards or close to 100 yards. It's tough, but yeah, he can do it. He can do it against any team until proven otherwise. Saquon Barkley can do it against anyone, even the Chiefs.
That's just one play with him. It's literally just one play. He could be bottled down the entire game. He could have 25 yards rushing. Next thing you know, Chiefs score a touchdown. We get the ball off a touchback, 75 yards to the house on the next play. We've seen it multiple times, even in this playoffs. All it takes is one for him, and that's the amazing part about him as a player.
I think the average touchdown for him this year is like over 30.
32 and a half, I heard Louis Riddick say yesterday.
Which was number one all time.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't – his longest rush in the game is 25 and a half.
And on top of it,
that's insane.
Jalen Hurts gets all the short yardage touchdowns, so that kind of helps out as well. But
do you know how much easier things get when you get those big plays like that? It completely opens up your offense all the time. And it's like an easy button press of like, okay, 7 points right there. It's crazy that they have that almost automatic 60, 70-yard play almost every single week with Saquon, and they've done it so many times. That's huge for an offense. It helps everyone out.
And Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift were good backs here, solid backs. But we've seen when they've left the situation with Philadelphia, they've gotten significantly worse. But those guys are also just solid players. They never had that home run ability where, as you just said, Jansen, you press that button and it's like, all right, the turbo, here we go, and 7 points, 70 yards to the house.
All right, let's flip that question. And unfortunately, I have to ask it, but I think it's an interesting way of, again, approaching this conversation. The Eagles lose, Jansen, if what?
That's a great question. The Eagles lose if Hurts takes too many sacks. He can't have the same game he had against the Rams. You can't be taking too many negative plays, and Spags is going to come after you. That's what the Chiefs do. They want to blitz. They want to get sacks. They want to get as many negative plays as possible. And Hurts had, at times, not all the time, has taken that. So to me, it's avoid the sacks, avoid the big losses. And the good thing is Hurts has only, I think, done it really once in the postseason. After that, I thought, rusty against Green Bay, but nothing too bad. And then was excellent against Washington. So I think he can do that. And I think he does because I think they win. But yeah, he can't take too many big losses. Can't do that.
All right. And Beef, you go ahead and think on that answer. And for everybody here, please give us a follow. Once again, we are Fox Sports The Gambler here in Philadelphia, part of the iHeartRadio cluster. And you can find us on all things socials at Fox PHL Gambler. That's FOX PHL Gambler. My name is Sean Brace. I'm live 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. That's John Jansen. Normally with me, Ryan Beef Coiled. Beef, also the smallest gentleman you will ever meet in life with the nickname Beef. Let's just establish that. But the Eagles, I have to ask it. Don't kill me. Don't throw snowballs at me. No tomato me.
No batteries.
No batteries.
That's so funny. People just think we have batteries on hand all the time.
Been going to games for 20 plus years. Al, have you ever seen batteries thrown at a game?
We just carry batteries in our pockets all the time.
The Eagles lose if what?
For me, it's obvious. It's turnovers.
Turnovers?
They turn the ball over. All 3 losses this year, they've turned it over at least once. I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but I think Jalen Hurts, when he doesn't turn the football over, is like 15, 16-0, something in that regard. So you even look at the Chiefs' 2 playoff games thus far, the Bills and the Texans, neither of those teams turned the football over, and the Chiefs still won the game. So you can't give them any extra opportunities, and that was my biggest gripe, I think, of the week with the Jalen Hurts narrative, where it's like, he played the greatest game of his life. He still lost the game, and he still made arguably the biggest mistake in the game with that fumble to Nick Bolton. So that was a game where Eagles were kind of driving there. It was about midfield. You have the chance to go up 21-7, turn the game kind of on its head. you fumble, it goes back the other way, and you let the Chiefs back in it. You can't have any of those opportunities in this game if you want to come out on top.
Yeah, we've seen it even in the postseason this year. Just a couple of mistakes. That's all it takes. Is like 1 or 2 mistakes, and the Chiefs take advantage of it. And in the Eagles in the Super Bowl, it was the fumble, it was special teams, all these like really small things that you go, okay, it's only a small thing. They're still playing really well, but that doesn't make a difference. Small things against Kansas City pile up so fast because they're so good. They can't make those mistakes. And the good thing is the Eagles have been pretty much mistake-free
Plus
for
10 in
a
the
very
playoffs.
long. Yeah, right. They've been mistake-free since like week 5 into the playoffs. They've been even better. That is a good thing to have going into this game.
Speaking of good things to have, we have a 6-pack of some hazy pale ale from Yards.
Oh, I'm gonna have
made
one
by
of those.
Philly. Ryan Beef Coyle is enjoying himself a nice draft, big draft, 20-ounce draft. What do you got? What are you sipping on?
The lime?
Ooh,
Some
oh,
lime.
nice.
Yeah.
Put a lime in
The
the.
standard lime.
Standard lime. Need to get
Nice.
something green for the Eagles.
Oh, even though, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we have
You
both.
know where I was
I
We got it.
I
It's
appreciate
the thought that counts. Thank you.